what's up everyone? Tedrick85 here, and I'm making this video to talk about something that I kinda delved into a little bit at the end of my Mega Man 10 playthrough with my text commentary, and I feel it's something that I need to elaborate on in order for those of you out there that watched it to better understand what my position is on this, and that's regarding downloadable content, or DLC. Now, I had written at the end of that Mega Man 10 playthrough that I thought it was a cash gimmick and that, which is true, but that's not really saying the whole picture of what I feel about this, and I think the way I said it was kind of half-witted in that, so I definitely want to clear my position on this, just so there's no confusion. And I'm gonna go ahead and answer the question that I posed in this video. Is DLC good or bad for gaming? And to be honest with you, I think it's good for gaming. Well, at least it should be good for gaming. And my reason for that is that I think it's good for enriching the gaming experience and also making a game more enjoyable far beyond its release dates. And my big issue is how the DLC that most of these video game companies have are being implemented. I just don't think that it's being used the way it should be or what it was meant to be. And for an example, I'm going to talk about Mario. I'm going to bring up Mario Kart 8 for an example because here I think the game looks awesome. I've seen playthroughs of it, and it looks great. It could possibly be the greatest Mario Kart game ever made. But the thing is, though, I probably will never see myself owning this game. And a big reason why is because of the way that Nintendo has their DLC. And here, for those of you that already know that when it first came out, and even now, you're paying almost $60 for a CD for Mario Kart 8, which is regularly because $60 is what you would pay for any other Wii game or any PlayStation 4 or Xbox One game. Which I should say, that's not cheap. You know, $60. Some people think that $60 is no big deal. Trust me, that is expensive for a game. Well, considering that back in the day when there was NES, that each of the cartridges cost around $50, so you talk about a $10 increase there. But in regards to the DLC to the Mario Kart 8, there are three main packs that you can get for it. The first pack is pretty much a promotional pack, which is free. Then that is the Mercedes-Benz pack, which I have to say I have no problem with that, considering that you're getting the downloadable content for free. But there's also a Zelda pack and a Villager pack, and they cost $7.99 each. Or if you get them in a bundle, it's $11.99. Well, people can say, well, $11.99 of a bundle is a better deal than the $7.99 each, which it's a no-brainer. It is a better deal than paying $7.99 each. But my question is, why pay $11.99 for content that you thought was already on the CD? In other words, if you're paying $60 for a Wii U game or a PlayStation 4 or an Xbox One game, when you fork over that $60, you're going to expect the whole game, right? You're not going to expect to download anything else to go with it. And to elaborate on my point on this, think about it like this. Imagine you're ordering a pizza somewhere. Let's just make it simple and say you're just ordering a large pepperoni pizza for around $10. And you get the doorbell ringing and that, and you answer the door, and it's a pizza delivery guy, and he hands you the pizza. Before you give him the money, you look into the box and you see that there's a quarter of the pizza missing. And you're like, well, wait a minute. There's a quarter of the pizza missing. Where is it? And then there'll be like the pizza delivery boy saying, oh, well, in order to get the final quarter of that pizza, you're going to have to pay an additional $3.99 for it. And you'll be like, hey, wait a minute. You know, I paid for a large pizza for $10. I'm expected to get the whole pizza and not have part of it missing. In order to pay that price, you assume it's the whole pizza. And then the pizza delivery boy just looking at you and go, tough. Well, you know what? I know what I would do, and I'm sure a lot of people would do the same thing. Not only would you not give the pizza delivery boy their money, you would give them the pizza back, say no thank you, and probably never want to go for that pizza company again. And that's kind of how I'm feeling towards most of these games that have downloadable content. They're actually pushing me off. from getting it. And I think it's very deceiving, and that's pretty much why I said what I said at the end of my Mega Man 10 playthrough. Because I just think, to me, the biggest thing that these video game companies have when it comes to DLC is that it's just a way for them to make some extra cash from the customers and that by withholding content that should have been on the CD anyway. And I know there's some games out there that have weapons in that or some kind of power-ups in that for their games and that on downloadable content, but you have to pay for it in order to get to them. And not only that, you can only use it for a single mode, and also if you use it online, you're gonna have to pay for using it online. Heck, there's even games out there where you can't even see the ending for it unless you get DLC for it. To me, that's total nonsense, and it's like I said before. When you pay full price for a CD, a video game CD, you expect it to be the finished product. You shouldn't have to pay for additional content for things that should automatically be there. Especially if there's like a weapons pack or especially an ending that has something to do with the game itself, an important part of the game. And I just think it's getting ridiculous in that and these video game companies wonder why everybody's getting so put off by DLC. But when they're doing stuff like this, can you honestly blame the consumers for being a little bit upset about this? And here's the way I look at it, you know. If you're gonna have downloadable content for your games that you're already paying $60 for a CD, then whatever additional content, the DLC that you're gonna have for it, should be free. After all, they're pretty much pitching that you're gonna get the whole game on a CD. So if they have any downloadable content or extra content afterwards, then the consumers should have every right to download it free of charge. Because to me, it almost feels like the consumer is getting penalized in a way for getting incomplete content that really isn't their fault, but it's the video game companies that's withholding this content. And for those of you that are thinking I'm a bit far-fetched and wanting this DLC to be free, look at the first Call of Duty game. The DLC for that game was free, but from Call of Duty 2 on, you had to pretty much pay for it. Well, not pretty much, you did have to pay for the additional content. So, free DLC is not impossible by any means, and it's definitely something they should definitely go back to. And but having said, you know, and I think there's too few companies out there that get DLC right. And I know a lot of people are going to think I'm biased for saying this next part that I'm going to say, but I think one game that did get the DLC right was Mega Man 10. Which, first off, there is no physical CD or anything for Mega Man 10. It's already a downloadable game. That's a game that you can only get from downloading it from the WiiWare, PlayStation Network, or Xbox Live Arcade. And the actual Mega Man 10 game, at least on the Wii, I'm going to use Wii for an example because that's the platform that I have it on. The price for Mega Man 10 on the Wii is 100 Wii points, which is equivalent to $10. But, you know, even with the downloadable content, including base, the 3 special stages, and the endless attack mode, if you combine all that DLC, it only comes to $8, or 800 Wii points. You get to $10 and $8. That's $18. That is a third of. Actually, that's a less than a third of what you would pay for a physical CD of a Wii U, PlayStation 4, or Xbox One game. And I think that's how it should be, you know, and at least for digital content like that. Now, if Mega Man 10 was on a CD and that, and you had to pay extra for bass and that, that'd be a different story because if you're paying $60 for it, you should assume that all that content should be on there anyway. But yeah, I think as long as you purchase the CD for a game, you should whatever downloadable content you get should be free of charge, especially since you have a save data file for the game anyway. And to me, DLC should be pretty much like free refills that you get whenever you go out for a meal at a restaurant. And that. And a good idea, because I know a lot of people out there saying, well, Teddy, you know, you can rent out a game and put save data on there, and then you could put DLC on there. Well, That's true, but A, you still gotta get you still gotta have the CD anyway, and B, in order for it to avoid piracy of any kind, they should have there's almost like a code or something that you should input for the game, like whether you're online and that, just almost like a proof of purchase that you have the game. But but yeah, it's definitely, I know I said this before, but whenever you pay $60 for something, especially a video game, then people market it as a game, you expect it to be a complete game. And I know I made the NES comparison before, but paying for DLC would almost be like back then you pay for Super Mario Brothers 3, and you're assuming you get the whole game, but you only find out you can only play from worlds 1 through 6. But in order to get through worlds 7 and 8, you have to put in an additional cartridge. That's about as much sense as that makes to me in that, but yeah, this DLC is definitely something that's been rubbing me the wrong way. I think it's been poorly utilized by most video game companies in that, and but yeah, this is definitely an ongoing debate on that, what's going on among gamers and that. And it's definitely something that people have been talking about, and something that video game companies should take a better look at in that. So, but yeah, I figured I'd make this video just to talk about this, and yeah, I know a lot of people. I know there's gonna be some people out there that may not disagree with parts or all what I have to say in that. And I'm looking forward to hearing what you guys have to say about this. So, if you feel free to leave a comment or a video response to this, please feel free to do so. If you agree with me, that's cool. If you disagree with me, that's okay too. And if you do disagree with me, please feel free to tell me exactly why and what you would do something different from what I would pose in that. And I'd be more than happy to listen, look at what you have to say in regards to that. And so, but yeah, that's pretty much how I'm gonna end this video. So, thank you guys so much for listening to this, and I will see you guys again next time.